All right, welcome back. This is the 9th episode of Duck of Doom. So last time we had done this duck animation, and it turned out okay, but there's a couple of minor little adjustments I'd like to make. So let's go back in Unity and just kind of take a look at it looping here. And I don't know if you know this, but up here there's a scale bar, and you can kind of zoom things in a bit. So if you notice, his little tail is kind of going womp, womp, womp. That's way too patternistic. And then what I noticed here about his wings is they really seem to truncate right along there. The head movement is a little bit stiff too, like the tail, but it's not as recognizable. But that's the two problems I want to fix, is the tail flopping and the wings. So the source of the wings flapping, I believe, is that we're not utilizing the shoulder in the animation at all. So what I'm going to do is pull that in. Insert Luke Roach scale. And then as you flap down, oops, got both of them selected, and it's pivoting them together. Wonder if I should roll those back a bit, might be interesting. Okay. So we were watching it from here in Unity, so let's take a look here. And I think that's helping a bit. Yeah, it does help a bit. Some of it's harder to see here because we don't have it painted in the same way. In certain angles it's more visible than others. Alright, let's fix that tail, doing a weird little repetitive flap. So I don't know if you noticed, when I right click on a bone over here in the summary, it shows me the name of the bones. I could, and often you should, go ahead and name those bones. It is useful to name the bones for your own sanity, but when you start doing mirroring, copy, paste, and paste opposite, if they're named in a very sequential sort of way for left and right, then the program can figure out how to mirror that and paste it to the pose opposite. In this case, I knew this guy was going to be simple enough, I didn't bother with that. But certainly when you're doing human animations and you're doing, run and walk and crouch and all these, a lot of animations, you want to be able to move, okay, well, the left foot's forward and the right foot's back. And then you copy those two and you go forward 20 frames and you paste the opposite so you don't have to redo all the same stuff. So in any case, what I was saying is, so here's these two things, and on these two lines that are highlighted now, all these little orange dots are the points at which those are keyframed. So right here, I guess that's the low point. Is it the high point? Low, high. Oh, interesting. So this is essentially the problem here, I think. Let's copy that and paste it here. I think maybe we didn't have it keyed at the start and end, which I'm surprised. I thought at the beginning I had selected everything. That's not fabulous, but so if I had made a bone to the left and the right, I could have the tail kind of flutter a little bit left to right. That's not going to be an option since I didn't do it. I'm tempted just to accentuate the neck a little bit more, to have it be up like this. So I made a mistake. I keyed those at the wrong spot. Yeah, that's better. Just move them where they go. Okay. So it's kind of too stiff. What's going on? Is that right here? Yep. Okay. So select all, B for box grab. I'm going to delete that one little keyframe. Now, okay, this next up the whole time. And if I recall the videos I watched yesterday, I think that they kind of often arch their neck up, with their head down. Okay, let's save that and go check it out in Unity. Sometimes in Unity it doesn't seem to re-import correctly. See if that looks correct here. Think so. Hard to tell. What's the trying to rotate around this guy and it's not. Maybe it is. I'm stuck in 2D view. Alright, yeah, it's not brilliant, but it'll do. Okay, so that's the finishing of the flying animation. Let's do the F that forces it to store this data block so that it'll make it into Unity. Obviously I just did, but sometimes there's a problem with that. And then let's do a death animation. So for death, I usually like to start with whatever the kind of base frame for the other one was, and then select everything else and delete it out. And so, we don't know exactly what point at the animation that the death might be called, but I'm assuming that it's going to loop and it might finish the previous animation and then start this one. That's the looping point, so that's a good assumption to make there. So death could be 24 frames, it could be more frames, it could be less frames. For human characters that fall down on the ground and twitch and all that, a lot of frames is useful. For this guy, we want him to kind of clearly die in the sky and he's going to fall. And maybe as a stretch feature, we might turn on ragdoll features, so the initial death animation could be very short, and then according to physics of which direction he was hit from, his body might deform according to how he ragdolls. Which, now that I'm talking about that, let's think about that. Yeah, if we're going to do ragdoll, which I think I like the idea of, then a specific death animation is not actually useful. So let's remove that. Hopefully I didn't just break everything. I think I shouldn't have, yeah. Flying. Base pose. Yeah, I was trying to get rid of death, but it's not harmful for it to be there. Make sure flying still looks correct. Yep. Alright. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So the next thing to do here is I'm going to save as and call it Duck of Doom blend. Let's go back to the default view. Go out of pose mode. And so, actually, go back to the base pose. Here we go. What I want to do now is unparent this bones from this, delete that, and then import the Duck of Doom and try to reuse this. I do not recall. Let's see the Control P. Alt P, clear parent. All right, I think that might be it. So just delete. Let's see. Looks good so far. Import an OBJ because that's what we exported. That's our guy. Okay. Because these use the same base mesh, you see it's very well aligned. I see one minor problem. So I need to re-export this because I had put some feet on them and those aren't present. Yeah. Okay. Should be selected. And I guess I'm just gonna save over that. Okay, that should be better. And we'll just delete it here and then re-import it. I see. That should have worked, but something went wrong. Right. This says right here, object hierarchy. Sorry, dogs are barking. Let me mute for a second here. Alright, not sure what happened there. I'm just going to revert this file. Oh, Blender's such a pain. Alright. Let's just try that again. Base pose. Default view. Select both. Alt P. I thought it was Alt P. No, but maybe I selected the other one first. Okay, let's try the other way. Oh, that's the problem. I'm in object mode. Clear parent. Okay, good. Delete the mesh. Save it like this so we don't have to redo that too many times. Import OBJ. Oh, I see what I did. I brought in this material instead of the object. My bad. There we go. Okay. Now let's click here, Control P. We're parenting now with automatic weights. Although, actually, undo. Here's what I want to undo, because we now have legs. We didn't have this before. So we're going to add some extra bones. And this could mess everything up, but also maybe it'll be fine. I'm willing to try it out. So we want the legs to come from that sphere there. Going to extrude. So here's where those keys we were doing before work out well. Oh my gosh, come on now. Trying to see where that thing is. Okay, that's pretty good.
Because I need to hit some crappy bullseyes. See? It still have just Wingling Woods, but on week 3, look, bullseye.
Extrude one more time. Get down to the feet. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Let's try reparenting. Okay, and then just like last time, we'll go into pose mode and see if this bound things together as we expect without stretching things all bad ways. Looks pretty good, although it's interesting what's going on with this little bit of the wing. Oops, I pressed something I didn't mean to. Thanks, Blender. I think it's a display mode for the mesh here. Yeah. Again, we're just making sure as we move the pieces of his body that nothing gets broken or jacked up. I see I should have added one more bone in his mouth, so alright. Well, we know most of that works anyway, so Alt-P, clear apparent. Edit mode. That is not centered.
At least the loser that killed me died in 15 seconds, right?
What's that, sweetie?
At least the loser who killed me died in 15 seconds. And I died, so I can get my voice.
What I should have done, so I'll go back and do it here now instead, is when I extrude from here, use one of the constraints at XYZ, and then only move it in the particular axis one at a time to keep it very aligned with the rest of the skeleton. Right. Reparent one more time. Automatic weights. Save. And actually, since it was looking good before, let's just go straight over to the animation view, and we'll look at the flying animation and see if it looks funky or if it looks pretty good. And look at that. Looks pretty good. The legs and stuff aren't moving, but that's good enough. So let's save this. Let's go back into Unity. So now we have to reconstruct this prefab. So we should have the new Doom Duck with animations in here somewhere. Here it is. So we need to put the material back on. And we want to tell the flying pose to be looped. Oh wait, the model will probably set itself to not be legacy mode yet. It's generic. We want legacy. Wrap mode is loop. And we want the default to be flying. Fix that prefab, and now let's see what happens. Oh, didn't loop. Should have looped. Why not? Did I somehow goof it? Yeah, look at that. It didn't save. Apply. Alright, try again. Okay, that's good. So let's just modify the legs when flying, and ducks usually when it's not landing, when it's just flying, they kind of pull their legs back like this. And then the mouth, I think we should have, yeah, let's have closed right now is good. When he's attacking, we'll change that to be open or biting or whatever we think of. Port those changes, and now his feet should go back when we press play. There, okay. Still not perfect. So if you can imagine, when we start doing the gameplay, we'll move these guys across the screen over time at different locations and come from different areas, and then we'll have to aim with the shotgun and shoot at them. Okay, so that's what I wanted to get done for this session, is get the Duck of Doom kind of baseline animated. There will eventually be some kind of attack, but I haven't quite figured out what that's going to look like. So we'll talk that out in a future episode, but thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.